Good afternoon. Welcome, bienvenue, and willkommen. My name is Kelly Lamb. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Miele. And we want to welcome you to MieleLive. Again, as many of you still continue to remain safely at home during these times, we wanted to ensure that we could bring to you the answers that you were looking for from us, that you've reached out to us for. Whether it's about products that you own, or whether it's about products that you're actually interested in buying. In our 8th week now of MieleLive, we've covered a vast variety of topics, and we've had some very special guests. This week is another special week as we have our partners from Zwilling J.A Henckels with us throughout the whole week, talking about the perfection of using their pots, cutlery, with Miele appliances themselves. This afternoon, I'm once again really excited to have the president of Henckels, Zwilling Henckels, with us here, Mrinal Sharma. Good afternoon, Mrinal.
Good afternoon.
Again?
Once again, I'm delighted to be here. It was a pleasure to be here yesterday and see you in action, cooking up a lot of different things. We talked about some of our brands and actually got to enjoy some of the food that you had prepared after the show. So I'm looking forward to more of the same. This is an unusual way for me to be spending my afternoons, but I'm quite enjoying it. And I'm hoping to be invited back again.
Absolutely. I think our viewers yesterday were really excited and really engaged with you being able to provide them a lot more insight, because I think there really is a lot of not only beautiful design as we can kind of see in front of us,
yes,
but there really is a technology to get the best performance when using, or the best results when using cookware and obviously pots and pans and knives. So I think it's our viewers have been thoroughly engaged, and I know today we're going to cover a bit of a different topic in some ways. We're going to talk about again, from cooking preparation right through to at the table,
right,
service.
And Kelly, it's a great topic to be covering today. It's one of the big trends. If I look at some of the biggest trends in entertaining and in kitchens today, it's really being able to not only prepare the food, but be able to present the food in a professional manner at home when you have guests over. People love to do that, and especially the Miele customer would love to do that. It's a joy in itself to be able to do that. I think with the rise of Instagram, and we see this all the time. People are going out to restaurants. Before anybody starts to eat, you actually take a picture of the food and send it to your friends and family, or you save it, and you want to recreate that whole experience at home, especially at times like this. And our portfolio of product allows people to be able to create that experience at home without having to go out. Also for large family gatherings, you want to put on a show, and you get that, wow, you've done all the work, might as well get the adulation. Well, so why not do it with some of these products?
And I think reality is, people really take pride in what they are presenting or preparing for their families. And I think even in restaurants, presentation is such a big thing.
Oh, absolutely. We have, as I mentioned in our show yesterday, we probably have partnerships with all of the big restaurant chains in Canada. And one of the reasons it is because they want to present the product in the best possible way. And quite frankly, and I hope I'm not telling any tales out of school, that they want to present it in a way that they get the biggest possible price for it. If it's just French fries on a ceramic bowl, you charge one price, but if you put in a nice cast iron dish, you can charge 50% more. So you get instant payback as a business, and you get instant payback as an end user because you're enjoying the meal much more.
So I know today, if you look in front of us, it's honestly beautiful. It almost looks like a harvest table. we don't have food and everything, but it gets the appetite going. We're going to really focus, I think, today a little bit, Mernal, on the Staub brand.
Yes.
Maybe before we get into talking a little bit about Staub as a brand again, for those viewers that weren't able to join us yesterday, one of the pieces I love, especially, we were talking about food earlier, is steaks.
Yes.
And really, there's so many different ways to prepare steaks. But the grill pan that you have is a fantastic product.
Absolutely.
And I think as you talk about it, I'm going to also welcome our culinary expert and colleague of mine, Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn.
Hello, Manel. Hello, Kelly.
Hello.
So Marilyn, steaks.
Yes.
So I think maybe I'm going to get you started a little bit to talk about what you're going to do, and maybe then afterwards, as you're doing that, we'll have Mernal talk a little bit about the construction aspect of the grill pan, because we're actually going to cook the steak a bit differently than most people would think to cook a steak at home.
Exactly. Okay, so what we decided to do is that we're showcasing the grill pan. Instead of doing it on the barbecue, it's actually, we're going to do everything in the oven. So I've been heating the tray on 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really nice and hot right now. I'm going to take that out, and then I'm going to place the steak on there. So the steak I've marinated, just put salt and pepper, heavily salted it, salt and pepper, and oiled it. So I oil the steak, I don't oil the pan, because we don't want the pan while it's in the oven to burn. So I want to hear that actual nice searing as soon as I place it in there. So why don't I take this out right now?
So Mernal, as Marilyn's doing that, maybe talk a little bit about, so we've been preheating your Staub grill pan in the oven at 500 degrees broil, so very, very high heat.
Yes.
Maybe talk a little bit about the grill pan and the advantages of the grill pan.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite ways to cook at home. As the topic of the event today suggests, it's from preparation to presentation, from preparation to table. And we're really focused on how the cooking inside the house. You can hear the beautiful.
You hear the grill already.
I've been upstaged by the sizzling sound of the steak. Who can compete with that? Sounds amazing. And a lot of people don't realize that you can really cook barbecue quality steaks in their home if they have the right pan. And Staub offers you that ability to be able to create that perfect barbecue experience without having to step outside. I know a lot of the Miele customers, a lot of Canadian consumers are living in high rises. They don't have the ability to have a backyard with a barbecue. Many times it's legislated not to have a barbecue. Well, you can create the perfect steak using the Staub grill pan. Many times you will find you have much more control, because when you're using a oven, you can regulate the temperature precisely. You don't have the cold of the weather affecting the barbecue. You don't have the seasonality of the month affecting the experience. We've just passed through a lot of cold winter months, and a lot of times you don't want to step outside. I know we have avid barbecuers who will put on the parka and go outside to grill a steak, and God bless them, but you don't have to do that. You can do it right at home. We talked yesterday about how cast iron can absorb a lot of heat. It can be really put to a lot of stress on the cooktop. It keeps up, so you can heat up the pan, and it'll make that nice, great sizzling sound to ensure that you get a nice grill and grill marks on the steak. And using the combination of the cooktop and the oven, you can get a wonderful steak done to exactly your preference level, whether you want it medium or well done. You can manage that process, and you can enjoy a perfectly prepared steak any time of the year.
And Mernal, one thing I love about that too is there's no cleanup in this particular case, because we didn't use the cooktop at all.
Yes.
There's actually going to be no splatter or anything, because actually everything's being done in the oven. But the other thing I love about the grill pan too is, one of the challenges I find of grilling steak, although many people love to do it, is with the grates,
Yes.
all the juices actually just drip away.
Right.
And the great thing about using the grill pan is those juices are in there. So if you take the steak out to rest,
Right.
you can throw some mushrooms in there to to warm up afterwards, absorb the remaining juices that are in there. I think that's another huge advantage of a grill pan compared to barbecue.
And for the avid barbecuers, as I mentioned, I'm not here to try and convince you to cook inside, but I am here to say that the results of your cooking experience indoor and the taste of your steak will be just as good if you prepare it inside. You can have a personal preference on where you'd like to cook, where you enjoy cooking more, and you should follow that preference. But it shouldn't be because you're limited in doing that
and not
inside.
having the tools inside to be able to do it if you want to.
Absolutely. We talked in our last event as well about the quality of Staub, and this grill pan is a great investment. It can last you for a lifetime. In fact, we offer a lifetime warranty with the product, and you can use it not just for meats. You can use it for vegetables. You can, in fact, use the grill pan outside on the barbecue as well. Some people prefer to do that for exactly the reason you mentioned. You don't want the juices dripping through. Some people don't like to get the black char marks that sometimes you get. There's some health risks associated with that, so they want to avoid that. Some people use it in combination with grilling meats to just grill some veggies on the grill top. So it's a multifaceted product, and it will become your go-to pan in your kitchen.
So Marilyn, for the steak, how long are you actually cooking it for? So we have it at 500.
500.
On convection broil.
Right. So I'm going to do 7 minutes on one side, and then I'm going to do 5 minutes on the other side.
Okay.
Once that's done, I'm going to remove it. I like to just sear the sides of it. So I'll just sear it quickly, and then I'm going to let it rest.
Okay.
So 12 minutes total, and we should have the perfect medium rare steak.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So Ronal, I know Marilyn's excited to jump to the next dish. So one of the other amazing products that you produce is the cocotte.
Yes.
So maybe explain a little bit about what a cocotte is.
Yes.
And Marilyn, I think as Ronal's going to explain the cocotte.
Yes.
What are you going to prepare next in the cocotte?
What I wanted to do is make an artisan bread. So I thought I would show how that is done. So I'm going to actually remove my my pot from the Staub pot from the oven because I want to preheat it. So when I'm making artisan bread, there's a little bit of a small little process on there. You let it proof for about 3 hours. Then you take it out. You do the second proofing for about 35 minutes. At that point, when the second proofing is going on, we want to make sure that the Staub pot is very hot. So I'm going to take this out. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place the dough into the pot itself, and then we're going to return it back into the oven and let it cook for about 30 minutes. We'll remove it, and then we'll let it brown on the top for 15.
So you're going to put it in covered first, though?
Yes, I'm going to cover it for 30 minutes.
And you don't need to take it out. You're just taking the lid off.
I'm just taking the lid off.
After the 30 minutes. Okay, and that dough's already been proofed and has gone through that whole process.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So Ronal, as Marilyn prepares that and our viewers can see that, maybe explain a little bit about the construction of the cocotte and some of the benefits of this.
I'm afraid we're going to run out of time now because I could talk about this cocotte for the entire duration of the show. We call it the cocotte, but we could also call it the one-pot wonder. It really is an appliance that can service all of your kitchen needs, and it's a very, very versatile product. It's really worth the investment. Marilyn is showing you how to bake bread in it, so that just goes on to show you the versatility. You can do soups and goulashes, and you can braise.
Ronal, sorry to interrupt you. That steak, Marilyn, if you will, just want to hold it up for the camera on that side. Because you won't even need to broil that on the sides, Marilyn. I think it'll be
Let me
perfect.
see. Oh yeah,
when
it's going to be
when it
perfect.
actually
So
comes.
one of the nice things is when you're removing it, so if you can see right here, we've got the sear marks. So I'm just going to actually turn it over. And now I'm going to put it back in for the 5 minutes. And I think we'll be good to go. So every time you open the oven, just make sure you close the door because you want to keep that temperature and you don't want to lose that by leaving the door open.
Sorry,
Okay.
Manal, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt you,
Sorry.
but I think everybody wanted to see the steak.
I know today I'm going to be upstaged by Marilyn
No.
and the Staub grill pan and the steak, and I'm enjoying being upstaged because really that is what it's all about. It's not about me talking here for half an hour. It's really about you enjoying that quality meat at home. As Marilyn mentioned earlier, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, you can have that quality food. So for time-stressed people who don't want to compromise on the taste, on the quality, on the experience, that's a perfect pan. If you get that result at home, you do that for your friends, you're going to get a wow every single time. If you do it for yourself, you're going to thank yourself that you invested in the time to doing it. And you'll do the same if you get a cocotte, because it really, as I mentioned earlier, is a very versatile pot. We talked yesterday, made out of cast iron. It's made in France, in Alsace, France, which is a region known for its craftsmanship and for culinary excellence. This is not a product that's made in an industrial zone. It's made in a region that's well known for culinary excellence. There's been a lot of thought and care put behind it. It's cast iron, but it's enamel cast iron, so it's low maintenance, easy to use. You see the black matte interior. This is also enameled. It may look that it requires seasoning, but it does not. It's enameled. It's a little bit coarser. We've done that on purpose. That's really great if you are braising meat, so the meat's going in, it opens up the fibers, it allows the flavors to go in and get marinated into the food, so the food tastes better. It also allows over time, when you cook fats in the product, it's one of the only pan that over time gets better because it develops a bit of a non-stick patina in the surface. So you get a good release of the food, retains heat, so the food stays warm longer, cooks easier. For slow cooking, this is the best product to use. We've even taken care to put self-basting spikes on the lids. This is not just for show. This is not just so that it looks unique or different. This has a practical purpose. These little nibs, moisture collects on them as it evaporates. It turns back into water and falls on your food, so it gives that extra juicy flavor. It keeps the food very, very moist during the entire cooking process. We've done a lot of tests. Most of the vapor coming up gets released back into the food as it's being cooked. You get a very, very good taste. Retains all the vitamins, all of the nutrients when you're doing your stews, etc. But it's not limited to stews. As Marilyn will demonstrate, you can do great baking in it. You can use it to bake bread. You'll see the results in a few minutes. Yesterday we were talking about induction cooktops and how important it is to be able to have cookware that works on that induction cooktop and not damage it. Again, enameled exterior, soft, and smooth, because it's essentially enamel is mostly glass. So glass on glass, you don't have to worry about any scratching. You can be assured that your cooktop is protected, and you, in the meantime, are getting good results. We also have things like trivets. These are beautiful matches to your cast iron, so it can go directly from the oven to your table without you being nervous of it damaging your expensive table. You can serve it right there. We have wooden trivets somewhere here that are magnetic.
And we'll actually demonstrate
demonstrate that later. Goes right from the oven to a magnetic trivet to the table, so you don't have to fumble around with the trivets either.
So Mernal, maybe actually on this topic, if you wouldn't mind taking a question.
Yeah, sure.
That we have. So Shell, thanks for joining us today on MieleLive. If you had to recommend a Staub pot for baking sourdough bread, which would you suggest?
Okay, so I would say it depends a lot on how big of a sourdough bread you're making, but ideal size I would say would be a 5.2 liter cocotte. I would suggest that you visit our website, go to Zwilling.ca. We have the entire assortment of cocottes there. They come in different sizes. You have a round cocotte, but we also have oval cocottes that you may decide because of the shape of it. And they come in a variety of different sizes. So again, if you're baking bread for 6 people, it'll be different than if it's for just 2. Make your choice. If you have any questions, we have a 1-800 number you can call and speak to our customer service team to get more insight.
So on that same question, Shell, why don't we show you the bread that we did now?
That's right.
Marilyn, you want to show, you have a couple of things that have already come out.
Yes, that's right.
So
Let me
maybe
just
let's start with the bread.
Yeah.
Because I think our lovely dinner table here is ready for some bread service.
Yeah. So I took the bread out just a few minutes ago. So this is the artisan bread. I floured it a little bit underneath so that it wouldn't stick. And then, you know what, if I go back, that's what I was going to say next. If
so
you go,
it needs to go on the dinner table right
yes.
now.
So I'm going to use one of the magnetic trivets, and that's the beauty about it, not worrying because this is hot. So now I have the bread that's in here, and also I took out the steak. So the steak is ready. So I'm going to actually just place it in this pan here so that it can rest.
Again, we didn't use the cooktop for that at all. We really relied on the heat that the Staub pan could absorb from the oven and really let the cookware do the work.
Yeah, and that steak is now sitting on the paella pan, which is a very, very versatile pan. We call it a paella pan, but really that's not the only description for it because it does a lot more than paella. You can actually use that pan for frying. You can use it for actually making a grill. You will not get the beautiful grill marks, but you can actually use it exactly the same way we used a grill pan. You can flip it around and use it as a pizza pan. So very versatile lineup of products from Staub, and each pan has multiple uses, which allows you to really use it very frequently, and it's good value for your investment.
And so our dinner table is coming really nicely together right now. The steak's going to rest in that beautiful paella pan that Marilyn's going to
And I'm actually going to put on another one of the magnetic plates underneath so that I can place this nicely on the table.
So
going back to Shell's question, that bread is right now in a 5.2 liter cocotte. So if that gives you a feeling for whether it's ideal for you, it perhaps puts a benchmark as to what could work for you. But once again, you don't have to make a decision at the moment. Think about it. Visit our website, Zwilling.ca. There's a lot of different colors. Sometimes the most difficult decision with the Staub is the color you want to purchase. Is it the cherry or the burgundy or the blue truffle? There's a lot of different choices, and you can really match it to your personal taste and to your decor in your house.
So Mernal, earlier you talked about because really the cocotte is it's basically the same, although they come in different sizes, shapes.
Yes.
You talked about the oval one.
Yes.
So Marilyn, the oval cocottes.
Yes.
I don't think we have enough food for everybody yet.
I know.
So what have you kind of done with? So we also talked about baking.
Yes.
We did some, obviously, searing using the grill pan. So, Mernal, I think Marilyn now use the cocotte for roasting.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. This again ties back to what we've been talking about. It's about preparation to presentation, just the beauty of the cocotte, the beauty of the food inside, and the fact that this is being used for roasting. So here it is.
So, what are you roasting, Marilyn?
I'm actually roasting a whole chicken. So I've placed the chicken inside of the coquette itself. I've just put a little bit of olive oil inside. I seasoned it with salt and pepper. And now I'm just going to add my vegetables in here. Just give me a second. So I'm adding just some shallots, some carrots, and leek. And then I'm going to let this cook slowly in the oven. So it'll take about an hour for this to cook. So let me just, it's as simple as that, really. Just putting these two in here. And then I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to place it in the oven on 450 degrees. And we'll cook it for about an hour. And because we obviously were filming, I already did one earlier. So I have about 6-7 minutes, and that will come out, and we can showcase how that looks as well.
So, Mernal, with the benefits, thanks, Marilyn.
No problem.
Mernal, you talked earlier about the design of the lid itself and the benefits of the design.
Correct.
When it comes to roasting, I would imagine that would also help with the moisture required in a roasting process.
Absolutely, it goes for the same thing. You want your meats to be cooked, but you also want them to be juicy, and nobody wants to eat meat that's dried out. So the shape of the cocotte, we call it the cocotte, but it's also known as the French oven. So essentially what you have is a mini oven inside in an oven that's roasting your chicken, and it's keeping the moisture and the flavors all sealed inside, and it will create a beautifully juicy roast. And once again, you'll see that happen in the next 6 or 7 minutes. And so far you can see the kind of quality. I think it's a testament to Marilyn's cooking, the Miele oven and the Staub dishes, that this is really professional quality meals that you can very easily and simply cook at home without really spending a lot of time, and every single time they will taste good, and it's going to be a great experience.
But I think, again, it goes back to the point of really, with quality cookware, as with appliances, you're letting those items do the work.
Absolutely.
In essence, for you, in a lot of ways, making your life a lot easier.
It's the tools of the trade. You know, if you've got a construction crew and they have the wrong tools, it's not going to be a great job. And it's the same thing. If you're in the kitchen, you need the right tools. You need these tools to be helping you. And what we find is when you have the right tools in the kitchen, your engagement with cooking increases dramatically. It becomes a pleasurable experience. People want to do it. They like to do it. We notice this with our knife business, which we're the best known for, is if you have a kitchen and you've got two people, give one person a dull knife and another person a sharp knife. The person with the sharp knife gets engaged. They're enjoying, they're loving it. The person with the dull knife, it's a chore. They're not enjoying it. Same thing with cookware. Same thing with the ovens. If it's not working right, if it's not doing what you want it to do, it becomes a frustrating exercise. You're not enjoying it. It becomes a chore. But if it is, it becomes a hobby. You're enjoying it. That part of your day is the best part of your day.
So, Mernal, maybe we can take another question. So we have a question about the weight of the cocotte and the grill pan. Would you, by chance? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
That is the grill pan weighs less, I believe, but I wouldn't want to guess at this point in time exactly how much it weighs. Once again, with all of our products on our website, we have the weight mentioned. You should go there, take a look. The features, benefits are mentioned along with the weight and the dimensions. So that should be able to help you out. I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to guess at this time.
But you know, being here and touching it, you really feel the quality behind these products. maybe we can take the opportunity as well, because we have a plethora of beautiful, beautiful options here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're worried about the weight, definitely a ceramic line is going to weigh less than the cast iron line. Um, Sometimes in front of a camera, you can't make out which one is a ceramic dish and which is a cast iron dish, because the ceramic baking dishes are built so beautifully with so much detail, and the colors pop out so much that you think that it's cast iron, but in fact it's ceramic. So these are the lines. This is a square roaster. You have the rectangular baking dishes. These are all the ceramic lines, designed very much in the same design style of the Staub cast iron, but they are ceramic. Uh, Again, these are very versatile products. They can go from the freezer to oven to table, can resist thermal shock because they are built so well. They're double glazed to ensure that they're non-porous. That keeps them looking like this for years to come. The colors retain their original beauty. For the lifetime of the product. You have extra wide handles, so it's really easy to carry. We've taken care of a lot of details. The Staub is stenciled right on the handles. It's, again, a product of love. It's not an industrial product. These are handmade, so they are not just machine made. They're hand glazed. The double glazing process is all done by hand, one pot at a time. So there's a lot of intricate details that are paid attention to for every single product. And you can see it come to life here. We have a lot of different shapes and sizes. You have rectangles, you have pie dishes, you have square dishes, all in different colors. Too many to talk about in one show, but if you visit our website, you'll see the full width and breadth of the assortment and all the color selection, and you can choose which one you like.
And eventually, as again things slowly reopen now, people can actually visit some of your stores.
That's right. Over the last few years, we've decided to make an investment in stores where we can offer a great purchase experience for our consumers. They are only focused on our brand portfolio, so the salespeople there are product specialists. They know the intricate details of each of the products. We have over 8 in Canada now. So we have in Toronto, we have one in the Halton Hills, we have one in Vaughan Mills, we have one in Markville Mall, we have a store in Calgary and one in Edmonton West. We have 2 stores in Vancouver, one in the Richmond Center, and in the Toronto, in the Richmond McArthurGlen Factory Outlet Center, and a second one in Burnaby. So you can look at the locations on our website at zwilling.ca if you'd like to go in person and talk to a salesperson, touch and feel a product, get more information. It would be our pleasure to welcome you there. You can go to the stores and buy online, or research online and visit the store and purchase there. We really want to make sure that we're there for you in the most comfortable way that you choose to shop.
Perfect. So we're gonna let food upstage you again. For
Okay,
a little bit. We apologize.
I'm all for that.
So Marilyn.
Yes.
I heard a lot of beeping.
Yes, there was a lot of beeping going on.
I think the chicken
is ready.
Is ready. So I will let you take center stage.
Thank you. I'm just gonna open the oven. Just take this out for a second.
So again, this is a really simple roast chicken.
Very simple.
That we do. Wow.
So I've added the potatoes. Sorry, I'm just going to stir it a little bit. The chicken in there.
And then the natural juices.
The juices
you
on
can
its
hear.
own, that's right, it's caramelizing down below. And what I'm going to do as well now, because I'm taking it right to the table, is I'm going to put it onto one of our magnetic trivets. I really like these as well, so it's so convenient. And now I'm just going to place it on the table. So we have a nice assortment of the steak, the artisan bread, as well as the roasted chicken with the vegetables in there.
Yeah.
I am officially upstaged
Yeah.
with this food. I really thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
bringing the product to life in such a delightful way. It looks fantastic.
It really does.
Yeah.
It smells fantastic.
Yeah, again, but again, I think it's been great that Marilyn has been able to utilize the amazing tools from Staub to again use it in such a versatile way
Yes.
because we really have two cocottes, yes, different shapes,
Yes.
but we've done a roast in the case of a roast chicken,
Yes.
which is really also a self-contained
It's a
meal.
full meal.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's also great to serve it like this, where you can just actually
That's
break the
right.
chicken up right at the table, dip it in some of the juices under there. Like
Mhm.
that's fantastic. The bread looks amazing, Marilyn.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Which we're able to bake in the bread, and obviously we demonstrated the searing with the cast iron. So I think.
So this is a perfect marriage because we call the cocotte the one pot wonder. And what you can do in the one pot wonder is you can make a one meal wonder. And that chicken roast is exactly that. You don't need anything else. You have veggies, you have your protein. It's perfect. A glass of wine, perfect. Some bread.
So I think they wanted to have a little closer look,
Yes.
Marilyn. I'm
So
going
I'm
to let
just
you
going to-
go into that camera for them. It really is the perfectly roast
Good.
chicken. Very, very simple. Actually, very healthy.
Yes.
There's really very, very little oil. We're letting the natural juices again
Exactly.
using the design of the lid retain its moisture and actually
Yeah.
go back into the food. I think that's fantastic.
And once again, if you wanted to, brown the chicken a little bit more, you could just remove the lid, put it back in for
But
a
it
couple
actually
of minutes.
looks-
But
but it looks
if you
really
wanted to, but for
fantastic.
me, this is perfect. It looks really nice. I can see the crispness on the skin as well. So it's good to go, actually.
Mernal, do you mind taking a couple of questions?
Sure,
'Cause
I'd love
time's a
to.
flying. So
Absolutely.
Marilyn, I'm going to ask you to read the question because I actually can't see the
Sure.
screen of which
Because where
question.
Daniel is
yeah.
positioned, that's right. So from Shell, again, Shell D, the question is, how much does the coquette and the grill pan weigh?
Oh, we already asked that.
Oh, you've asked that one? Oh, I'm sorry
Yes.
about that. So which I'm going down.
I think
What-
the next is
Okay.
how do you
So the next one was what mode was used in the oven for the chicken? So I actually put it on a convection roast, and then I just timed it for an hour, and that was it. Just placed it in there, and after an hour, this is how it came out. And so the next one is,
We'll
Just
come
see.
back to the knife question after Mernal.
yeah,
Because I know Shell has a question about knives, and you mentioned knives. So we'll come back to that question at the end.
so there is a question as well from Leo. The question is it true you have to coat with the cast iron with oil before storing it?
So with Staub cast iron, you do not need to do that because this is an enameled cast iron product. The enameling process with Staub ensures that it is a low maintenance product and it is not prone to rusting. If you own a cast iron product that's unseasoned, which is raw cast iron, which is a type of cookware that is available in the marketplace and a lot of people own it, then you need to ensure that after you cook with it, you season it to ensure that the cast iron, which is raw, does not start to rust. Raw cast iron products are prone to taste transfer as well because it can pass off that metallic taste to food. So we highly recommend that you get enameled cast iron product like a Staub. Reduces maintenance with the Staub. All you need is warm water, a little bit of dish soap, and a sponge, and the food falls off, and it does not require anything more in terms of maintenance.
Thank you.
Then another question is just, again, general maintenance of the cocottes.
Yes.
Easiest way, Mernal?
So it's really no different than any other cookware. It's because of the enameling process, it can withstand a lot of acid in cooking. So if you're doing anything acidic, again, there's no taste transfer. You don't need to season it to prevent taste transfer. After you cook with it, I would say hand washing is ideal. You just wash. You don't need anything more. Just use warm water, soap, sponge, and clean it and store it, and it's ready to go. Next time when you're cooking with it, you don't have to do anything prior to cooking. You can start with your recipe without any extra maintenance or preparation.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, Mernal, I know we're going to be upstaged because the viewers out there actually want to have a closer look at the bread again.
All right. Okay.
So,
Yes.
Marilyn, I'm going to let you. And I think for those viewers out there, it's important to understand, actually, we've cooked this real, we started the bread earlier because we had to, but this is actually all exactly as you see it. The results you're seeing right now are really from the cooking process. You may have to come.
Can you see that there?
Daniel, you good there? Our camera guy, Daniel, is
Yes.
giving us the thumbs up, so that's good.
Okay.
All right. Mernal, one last question then.
Yes.
Because we are running long, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's actually really good. I'm glad our viewers are really engaged with this topic. So Shell out there had the question. Miyabi knives are very well known.
Yes.
Japanese knives.
Yes.
Shell was asking a question: if she could really only buy 3 of the knives, which would be the first knife she should buy or invest in? Because it is an investment.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, just for our viewers who are just joining in, Miyabi is in our portfolio of brands. It's a brand that's focused on Japanese knives. It's made in Seiki, Japan, which has been the heartland of knife making and sword making. Prior to that, in Japan for centuries, this is where the famous samurai swords come from. So it's got a deep history of making very good knives. And Miyabi is a brand which is focused on the beauty of sharpness, and our Japanese branded product. I would say to start with, the 3 best knives would be the chef's knife, the utility, and the paring. These would kind of help you make your way around all of your essential kitchen tasks very easily. It gives you a lot of flexibility and versatility. As we mentioned earlier, you're welcome to visit one of our stores and actually touch and feel them and see which ones feel good in your hands. I kind of half joke that it's the wand that finds the wizard. So when you go and you touch the knife, the right one, you know it. You'll hold it and you'll know that's the one for you. A lot of it also depends on the size of your hand, the shape, the kind of weight, and the tactile feeling that you get when you hold the handle. So it's hard to just pontificate on it on television. You should visit a store and check it out, or visit Zwilling.ca to see the full platform of knives. Japanese knives are differentiated by look very much. So they come with different handle designs, with different decorative pins, with different blade design, Damascus pattern. So a lot of it will also depend on the look and the feel of the knife itself. So that's another aspect that you should consider. But rule of thumb, those 3 knives will get you started and give you a lot of versatility around the kitchen.
So Mernal, thank you.
My pleasure.
It's been a lot of fun. Marilyn, really thank you for helping, really, I think as Mernal say, showcase, at the end of the day, what's the importance is the results
Yes.
that our viewers at home would get. So
And thank you for having me and hosting this event. It's been a pleasure. And
you're not done yet, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not done yet.
Okay, okay, all right.
So Mernal will be back tomorrow, and we're going to cover yet a different topic. We're also going to talk about the importance of preservation and storage. We're going to talk about the Miele Mastercool French door fridge, but in addition to that, we're going to actually talk about some of the other tools that the Zwilling brand will be able to offer you to properly preserve and store foods, which I think is also very, very important in the process of cooking. So we look forward to see you back again tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to being here tomorrow.
Be sure to visit the website for Zwilling. Really, all the information's on there. You'll be amazed at the breadth of products that they offer, and really the common line or common element for all of those is just the pure quality. We can speak to that. We use that. Marilyn uses that on a daily basis here.
Yes.
And it's really a phenomenal product, and it's one that Miele also stands behind very much. So we look forward to that. We want to thank everybody for joining MieleLive again today. Tomorrow we have, again, another exciting segment. Mernal and Zwilling will be back with us at 3 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, we're going to continue our campaign, #MieleDinesLocal. So this is our new campaign to try to use this platform that we've developed to support local small businesses across the country that are feeling some of the challenges due to our current situation. And tomorrow we have Chef Otto from Quince Bistro, who's going to be joining us. And in the theme of being a German company, I believe Chef is actually going to prepare for us a Jägermeister schnitzel. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's Chef Otto from Quince Bistro tomorrow, who's going to join us at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to join us then. On behalf, very lastly, of the Zwilling team, Mernal, myself, Marilyn, and the Miele Canada team, we want to send a very, very big thank you to all the frontline essential workers that are servicing communities across Canada right now. Even as businesses slowly reopen across the different provinces, we once again want to thank all of those frontline workers for their continued bravery and hard work during these very challenging times. Be sure to turn on your notification, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest information about our latest videos. We hope to see you again tomorrow on MieleLive and #MieleDinesLocal. We hope you have a fantastic evening.